Alright, what's up guys? Today we're going to teach you guys how to do beginner skateboarding. Just from learning how to push and stop to just getting comfortable on your board and not having that fear of falling all the time. The first step in skateboarding isn't actually starting to jump on your board first. It's actually your shoe. So you're going to want to find a shoe that has a flat bottom. That's not like it's not concaves. You don't want like ripples or anything too big, just so that when you're on your board you can feel your board. I know it sounds weird, but the more you skate, the more you'll get a feel for your board, and if your shoes are flat, it just makes it a lot easier to control your board. We're going to talk about boards. So there's three types of boards. There's the street board, the transition board, and just the cruiser board. If you are planning on doing a lot of trick skating and you want something that will flip, anywhere from a 7.5 to an 8.5 is going to be your standard street board, and that's what I skate now, is just an 8.0, which is the kind of like just the standard board size. It's the board I usually choose from now on. A cruiser board is more for just obviously cruising around, going from location to location. If you're picking up groceries or whatever you want to do, just rolling around the city, I would definitely recommend a cruiser board. And if you want to do transition, which is the third type of board, it's just going to be a wider board, usually 8.5 and up. It's the sizing. It just is a wider board. It gives you more room on your feet to be able to land your tricks, and you're going to be hitting bigger things, so you're going to want it. I guess another tip for board sizing is the bigger you are, the bigger the board you're going to want to get. Vice versa, the smaller you are, the smaller the board. All right. So our first step that we're going to learn is we're going to learn what stance you are. Now there's two stances in skateboarding. There's the regular stance and the goofy stance. And now don't let the names deter you from which one you want to choose. There are a lot of pro goofy skaters and there are a lot of pro regular skaters. It really doesn't matter. It's just really up to your preference. So it'll all just come down to foot placement. A good way to figure out which one you are is just the ice patch or the slip and slide trick, which is if you see a slip and slide, or if you see a large patch of ice and you're going to run up to it and then slide on it, which foot are you putting forward? Are you putting your left foot forward to slide, or are you putting your right foot forward to slide? It's a good way to determine which foot you would put in front of the other on your skateboard. If you're a regular skater, you are going to be putting your left foot in front, and followed by your right foot on the back of the board next to the bolts back here. But your front foot will be your left foot, and if you're a goofy skater, your right foot will be on the board, and I guess your right foot will just be in front and your left foot will be in the back. Alright, so a good tip in learning how to skateboard and stay balanced on your board is to find a ledge or a rail or something that you can just hold on to and practice balancing on your board. Usually something waist height would probably be the best. Or again, you can just find whatever you have to hold on to. This is really going to help you just get more control over your board. And once you're comfortable with stepping on and off, you can even practice holding onto the ledge or the rail and practice just moving side to side. Again, that's just going to better increase your chances of not falling when you get ready to start pushing around and moving. So now that you know what foot to put forward, your left or your right, depending on if you're regular or goofy, it's going to be getting comfortable in that stance. And the best way to start is just to put your front foot on the board and just get comfortable, facing the direction that you're going to be skating and having that foot make contact with the board while the other one's on the ground, just to help you stay balanced. Step 4 in learning how to skate is you're going to get comfortable pushing on your board. So the first step is to put your dominant foot, right? Remember, if you're regular, it's your left foot. If you're goofy, it's your right foot. And you're just going to practice transferring your weight onto your dominant foot while keeping your other foot on the ground and just hopping behind. This will get you more comfortable pushing and just feeling the feeling of skateboarding. So now that you're comfortable with kind of just hopping around on one foot, you're going to build your confidence up to the point where you can put your back foot onto your board, and you're going to push, transfer your weight onto your front foot, and then put your back foot on, and it'll make you start to roll. Now that we're comfortable on our board and we've gotten a little bit used to standing on it and pushing and being able to push around and just roll around, we're going to practice turning, which is going to help us control our board even more. So when you stand on your board and you're getting ready to push off or push away, if you're wanting to turn left, you're gonna, for regular skaters, you're gonna lean back. So leaning back is gonna turn your truck in the direction that you want to go, and it's gonna help you be able to turn. So if I'm a regular skater, I'm gonna lean back to turn left. If I'm a goofy skater, I'm gonna lean forward to turn left. Confusing, but it's just how it is. So I'll give a quick example. I'm gonna roll straight up, and then I'm gonna lean back, and it's gonna make me turn left. So if you're a goofy skater, it's gonna look like this. To turn left, you're gonna jump on your board, and you're gonna lean forward. And now it's the exact same concept, same idea, just to go right. If I'm a regular skater, I'm gonna lean forward, and it's gonna turn my board right. And that's just applying a tiny bit of pressure on shifting my weight basically from my heels to my toes, which will make me turn that direction. And to make me turn left, I'm just transferring the weight from my toes to my heels, which will just make me start to turn left. And I'll do it for the goofy skaters too. So I'm gonna jump on goofy, and I'm gonna turn right by leaning back, and that's just transferring my weight from my toes onto my heels. Oh my gosh, I almost fell. As you can see, I'm not a goofy skater. All right, now that we've learned how to turn, another way you can learn how to turn, and this all kind of depends on the tightness of your setup. If your trucks are tighter, it's going to be a lot easier for you to control your board in the sense of just balancing. If you skate with looser trucks, it's gonna be easier to control in the turning way, but your board will become a lot looser. Like, my board's pretty tight, I skate with it pretty tight, so I can't really rock back and forward that much. But if you skate with looser trucks, you'll have more control in your turns and being able to turn sharper or carve sharper. But it's really just up to preference. If you're planning on being a vert skater or a transition skater, it's going to be a lot easier for you if you have tighter trucks, just because you're going to be taking bigger impacts, and you kind of want your board to be tight. You don't want to be falling all over the place. But if you're a street skater, there are a lot that skate super loose. I'm kind of the opposite. I will skate my trucks super tight, and again, it's just up to preference, and I feel more comfortable having my trucks tighter. All right, so another way you can practice your turning when you have a little bit more experience on your board is just having your front foot up at the front and your back foot on the tail. And you're just gonna lift your front foot up a tiny bit and scoot, using your shoulders to turn your body in the direction you wanna go. So if my shoulders are turning forward, I'm gonna be turning right, and I'm gonna apply a tiny bit of pressure on my back foot, like so, but even less. And then I'm gonna turn my shoulders in the direction I wanna go. So I'm gonna put a little pressure on and just kinda practice going back and forth in the direction I wanna go. So putting a little bit of weight on my back foot, moving my front foot over, same thing on the other side, so that when you start skating, you're able to turn instead of leaning. And it helps me because I have a tighter board, tighter trucks and a tighter board setup, so it's a lot harder for me to turn sharply, and so that's an easy way that I can kind of counteract that and be able to turn sharper. So again, a little bit of pressure on your back foot, switching your weight onto your back, leaving a little bit of room for your front foot to lift up, and then just guiding the direction of the board depending on which way your shoulder moves, front or back. All right, and lastly, I'm going to teach you guys how to stop, which is probably the most important thing you should learn in skateboarding. But yeah, again, you're going to put your dominant foot first, left if you're regular, right if you're goofy. And then to stop, now that you've learned to step on your board with your back foot, you're going to do the exact same thing and just step off, but you're going to keep most of your weight on your front foot, and you're just going to let this foot like hover, basically hover over the ground, and then just start applying a little bit more pressure until you can stop completely. So that's the first way to stop. You're rolling, you're going to keep most of your weight on your front foot, and then you're going to slowly just drag your foot on the ground on the side to stop. Keeping most of your weight on this foot, but applying a little bit of weight onto your back foot to slow you down. So for goofy skaters, it's going to look like this. You're rolling on your skateboard, you're going to slowly put your back foot down and drag it until you stop. I'm just gonna hit it from this view too to show you just skating around what it looks like. When you're going to stop again, just transferring more of your weight onto your back foot, but keeping most of it on your front and slowly dragging that foot behind. So we'll just hit it one more time. Rolling and slowly letting that foot just kind of drag behind. But as you can see, most of my weight is forward on my board to keep my weight over top of it so I don't fall. But again, if you lean too far backwards when you're doing this, you're obviously just going to fall off and slip out. And if you lean too far forwards, you're going to end up falling forward off your board. The second way you can stop is when you're rolling with your skateboard, just put your back foot on the tail, but leave a little bit hanging over the edge, or a little bit more if you can, and pop your tail. This is when you're going to get comfortable popping your tail, and it's going to kind of make you slide to stop. A lot of people and a lot of skaters will end up getting razor tail, which is this on the back. I have some too because I have stopped that way a couple times, but it'll just kind of shave your board down a bit because you're constantly grinding this part onto the concrete or whatever surface you're skating, and it's just gonna kind of wear that down over time. But stopping like that looks like this. You'll be rolling, apply a little bit more pressure onto your back foot, and then it's just gonna stop you by sliding your tail, creating friction and making you slow. It's not the best way to stop. It looks like this. So that is a second way to stop. Again, not recommended because you do put more wear and tear on your board, but it is a way to stop. And now the final way to stop on your board is just to hop off. And now if you're going really, really fast, it is not recommended because you will end up laying your body out flat like a penguin and sliding. That stop is not recommended. But if you aren't going that fast, it is okay just to hop off, depending on which way you're rolling, and just finding a safe place to hop off your board. I'm jumping off, yeah, with my back foot first and then my front foot. Just know that if you're going really fast, you're probably going to fall on your face and you're going to kiss the cement, and it's not going to be good. So again, sliding your foot, scratching your tail, or just hopping off are the three ways that you can stop on your board. Alright, so I do hope that helps you in learning to skate. Get more comfortable pushing, stopping, and turning on your board. Again, it will take time. You probably will fall a couple times during the process, but don't let it get you down. Everyone falls. It's just part of learning and practicing, and you can only get better by, the more time you put into it. So don't let it get you down. Don't let it get you discouraged. Just keep it up. And like I promise you, in a year, you'll be looking back at where you were and kind of just laughing at yourself, It is what it is. It's part of the process. It's what happens to make you a better skater. If you enjoyed the content, subscribe to the channel. I will be doing more tutorials and more just lessons on skateboarding. This is just the first lesson that I'm going to do on getting comfortable on your board, but there's a lot more to come. So stay tuned for that and be skating more park stuff. All right, I'm out.
See you again or never again?
No, you see me again.
I'm just kidding, bro. I love you so much, man.
I love you too, bro.